don't talk anymore. Like we need you. Like we need you. Like we need you.
What is it? Episode 5?
Yeah.
He fucking broke it.
Too much.
Episode 5, baby. And we is live. Damn, we're getting used to this. Episode 5, the Gym Freak podcast. Back at it with Clarky. And this has become like a natural thing, bro. It's second nature.
Yeah, I know. I like it. I like talking to you guys. This is the only time we get to see each other right now. Busy schedule,
this
but
is our thing now.
I like learning from all these people we've been able to sit down with. I love the environment of being able to open up and talk bodybuilding, talk shop, you know. And we got an opposite of a bodybuilder today, which is dope. This is more down your line, so I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to hear the story. So
we got Big B. What's going on, B?
What's up, y'all?
Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, thank you for having me, man. This is so dope, man.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, for real.
It's dope with
big
the
pleasure.
headphones and shit, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty legit, right?
It is.
He went all
like,
out.
Yeah, like this is sweet.
He went all out.
Yeah.
It's dope, man.
This is dope, man. I'm proud of him, man. Like this is like one of the sickest things I've ever seen, man.
Hey, I appreciate you, B.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's dive in straight into quarantine, bro.
Okay.
We were training together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Right, literally right after we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he ditched us.
I knew I was waiting for it.
Where'd you go?
You know, I went home with the F3. You know, still there now. You know, getting it in every day with the crew. So, but I'm gonna come back. I have to make my, you know, anytime you got room for me, you know, this brand new fancy facility in here. You know, I'm down to train. So
I'm glad you like it, bro.
yeah.
We're gonna dive into some getting to know you, bro. Okay. You know what's funny is I've known you for a long time, but I've never asked you personal questions.
I know, right?
You know, I know a little bit about you, but not too much.
Yeah.
You know, I'll let Clarky ask the first question.
Okay.
What you know, I think we all want to know like what brings people to fitness, you know. So what brought you to fitness? Why are you so hardcore in everything that you do? Like, give us a little background on what brought you to determination like that.
Honestly, like the first time was an injury. Hurt my back like 2011, and my girlfriend at the time signed me up for a gym membership, and I was like, okay, you know, I tried out. Literally went to LA Fitness and just played basketball. That's all I did. I was doing physical therapy, and I was like, I wasn't into the weightlifting. I was going there like literally every day, only doing basketball. Never touching the weights. And then physical therapy wasn't working, and my back was getting worse. And then I just looked into actually doing strength training, and then I started just lifting on my own, looking up a couple things, reading the Arnold Schwarzenegger book, the bodybuilding book. And then I was like, okay, let me apply this, do this, that. And then I started feeling better. And then it just became a habit. I stopped playing basketball for a little bit. And I was just going in there lifting weights, and yeah, that literally the format was it. I went and got my cert, started doing classes, and I just literally kept going.
Yeah.
Kept going. And then luckily after about maybe 4 years, I think I stayed at my job, 3 years I think, where I was working for Coca-Cola, doing the stuff that was actually hurting my back. All the continuous labor, got rid of it. I told them, you know, like, hey, this is it. Time for me to go, and just took on training. That was it.
That's awesome. And you can tell that you had that natural fall in love with it stage, right? Where it's like you saw the weights every day, and then you finally went and dabbled with them, and then you started feeling better. And most people get in it for cosmetics, but they end up falling in love with it, right?
Yeah.
So it's awesome that it was actually for like physical therapy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's awesome.
Because what I was with the exercise they were doing they were beneficial, but it wasn't enough. I could tell like I needed more. Like, okay, like I was pushing the sled down and back like literally like 10 feet, and it was like 20 pounds on there. It was like I could feel like at first, and then I was doing like resistant band work. I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. I feel a little stronger. But then like I was wondering why I was still aggravating it, and then it was just telling me like, okay, you need to actually strength train, like actually put your body through these movements, you know, weights, resistant training, low conditioning too, and just like finding ways to strengthen up those muscles. And you know, they weren't able to do that for me there. So like I said, I just took advantage of the gym membership that I had all that time.
Damn.
And kept doing it. Yeah.
How old were you?
24.
Okay.
24. Yeah.
Okay.
How old are you now?
I am 32, going on 33.
Okay.
You don't look like it, bro.
No, definitely. I think weightlifting's a fountain of youth anyway.
I don't know about me, but
Yo, stop, bro.
how did you transition through all your phases? So you said first you were doing it for injury, and then you caught on to bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And now you're doing everything.
I'm doing
I met you.
everything.
I came back, started training with you when you were doing powerlifting.
Yeah.
So how did you transition through all that?
Yeah, I went from, traditional bodybuilding, split training. I did, like I said, the Arnold Schwarzenegger book. I was doing that. I started off with the basic program, and I stepped it up to the advanced, 6 days a week, even 2 a days. I was in the zone. I was feeling it. Cause I just I did start seeing not only just physical changes, but I felt stronger. I felt like I could do things I couldn't do before. My back felt great, and literally just kept going and going. And I got mentally, I was prepared to do a show. I wanted to do a bodybuilding show, 212, cut down to 196, and I was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna do it. Literally the night before, I got cold feet and didn't do it.
No way.
Literally. I mean, I tell you, at 10 o'clock at night, I texted my coach and told him I didn't want to do it.
Damn.
I was putting in work. Like I said,
You signed up already and everything?
Everything.
How
You paid
long
for
did
everything?
Everything.
How long
Didn't
did you
do it.
prep for?
8 weeks.
Okay.
8 weeks. I was I was sitting there, and he was like, hey, come by the house, let's tan. Put this tan on you in the morning. I was like, okay. And then something just happened. I'll never forget it, because I was eating, still at work, and I was working at GNC at the time, and I was eating sweet potatoes and fish, and I'm just scarfing this meal. I'm like, okay, here I go. Last little bit, because I still want to get some carbs in me, and I was like, I'm gonna do this, and then I got home, and I just didn't do it.
Damn.
I was just got really cold feet. I was scared. Mentally, I was I felt it was physically I was ready, but mentally I wasn't. I mean, I had trunks, everything. I ordered these trunks. Hair was done, everything. I was ready to go. All I had to do was get the tan. I just chickened out.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I had that same fear when I did my first show. I had such severe anxiety walking out as a 20-year-old, and
Right.
you have all these people staring at you, and you're wearing a little thong, and it's
Yeah.
it's me growing up is oh no, hell no, I ain't never wearing a thong, bro.
Yeah.
Get this shit out of my face.
Right.
And then you get on stage and you're like, wow, this is different.
That's what I said. Even the posing. So I had to pose in the trunks, and I'm sitting there, and I'm literally just double bicep, everything. And I felt confident the first few weeks prior to it, the first class, a couple weeks prior to it. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And then literally, man, I'm just sitting there at work, and I'm like, I don't think I can do this. I was just so focused on trying to care about what everybody else thought, or if I'm gonna be number one, ego got in the way, and that was the worst thing to do. And then I haven't done a show since then. So I kept doing, not necessarily bodybuilding. I was doing regular, programs and stuff like that for that was what, maybe 2013, 14. And then I kept, just regular playing around with stuff. And I didn't get serious about actually competing until last year for powerlifting.
Nice.
Yeah. So
So was that the next road, or were there roads leading up to powerlifting after pulling out? Did you still work out like a bodybuilder, or did you immediately want to pick up another type of lifting?
So I just I kind of transitioned out. I was still messing around with the programs and seeing how I could get as far, building up my legs, back, and stuff like that. And then personal training kicked off, because people were coming at the gym, and they're like, oh, hey man, I like the way you look. Can you teach me this? And at first I'm just just hey, I'll show you this and that. And then someone has sat down and was like, man, people really are all the time they ask you, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? Maybe you should be a personal trainer. And I was like, I don't know. And then that's when I started my cert, about a few months after I didn't do the show. So I started doing the course, finished that, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. What am I gonna do next? And then I took on some family members, my cousins, as first clients, trained them couple times a week. And then same thing, people saw me actually train that, hey, you a trainer now? can we do this? Can you got room for me? And then, I just took off from there and just kept building up clients. Then the next thing during that time, people wanted to come in as like, hey, do you do classes? And I'm like, I never, trained more than one person, 2 people. And then I'm like, okay, I'll try it. So I like played around and, took a couple family members and stuff, some friends, and they liked it. And okay, next thing was like, okay, so like once or twice a week I was doing boot camp classes. Then that went out, indoors, then outside. And then like after that, I started getting invites from other gyms. They asked me to like teach there for them. And could you do these weekend classes and stuff? And yeah, that was it from there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Because normally when people get cold feet and like they pull out, they don't try to go any further, So that's, I would have never guessed that you pulled out of that. So like, it's cool because I was looking at your profile and stuff and looking at all the stuff that you post, and it's like, man, you would never guess that you didn't go through with it, So I think, it's cool that you went through with something in fitness as well and found a different avenue, and clearly one that fits.
Yeah, because I'm just sitting there as somebody may not be for you,
right?
Like you may be in shape, you may be fit, but like I said, the mental state wasn't there, and I'm like, okay, but I can train others to get them on the same path,
Sure.
Whether it's for weight loss or helping them prep for shows the same way I did. And then I just kept going from there, and I literally it flew by. Like even now I can't even imagine that was 5-6 years ago.
Right.
And I'm just thinking like, okay, I've been doing that, and like I said, then I actually sat down and someone else gave me the same tour to talk. Like, man, you've been doing this for everyone else. What are you gonna do for yourself besides build a business? And because I was fortunate enough and blessed to where I had so many clients, like I quit my job. It was points where people wanted to train, and I would take breaks from work, and I would leave work and train people, or I would call off early because someone wanted to train, and I did not like working most of the time, because
right.
I knew where my heart was, my mind was thinking about training people, and stuff. So I didn't stop working and took that on full time. And like I said, that was something that after a while, I was like, okay, when are you going to do something for you? What do you want to do? Like, I mean, you're doing this, but what are you really, you want to show your achievements.
Right.
So I guess that was what it was. And like I said, when I got F3 and met G, man, I was like, man, these guys are like going hard. I didn't know what they were doing because they weren't doing their own thing. And I was, just doing my stuff. I was still going to like commercial gyms. And one day, man, it took me like almost a year to train with them. And he invited me. I'll never forget. He's like, hey, man, why don't you just come work out with us? And I was like, that's when that point where like you kind of lose focus in your training. Like, I think I'm going to do arms today. I think I'm going to do chest. I don't know. Like, I was just playing around with new stuff. And then that's literally where it took off. Once I trained with them, I loved the way I felt, like how the weight was, because I've never powerlifted, never went, less than 8 to 10 reps, at a time. So doing like
true Arnold, true Arnold encyclopedia.
Yeah, literally. Yep. Like I never tested my 1 rep max, and then like started off like one day, and then it's like I look and again, time flies. It's been almost 3 years since I was training with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a dope ass history. Yeah. Were you training? Because I've known you since LA Fitness when I used to work there. Were you training people during that time or no?
Yeah, I was. I was training a couple people. What happened was, like maybe a couple years after, maybe like a year or so after I met you. Okay. But then they started kind of kicking me out because they didn't because I didn't work there. Okay. So they're like, it was so funny. So like after a while, like before I would train with them, like train with my clients. Okay. And to make it look like I was actually working out or like not training clients. So I did that for like maybe 2 months, and then eventually someone caught on. And they told the director, so I had to actually change and go to another gym, another facility where they were like, more like, okay, we're not really pressed about it. We only got like such and such members, so we're not really caring on who's training, whatever. So I was like, okay, so I did that. And then a guy at the time that I was, other gym I worked at, he walked up to me and was like, man, when you gonna come earn some real money? And then I never forget, he's like, you need to stop playing around and come get your money that you deserve. And so I started training with him, and it was better mentally because it was like, okay, I don't have to look over my shoulder every 10 minutes, even though they told me I was cool, at the same time, you never know. So, because like they were switching heads and management was coming in there, and I like some days another guy was there and he wouldn't let me train. So, and even just as far as like equipment use, it wasn't everything I wanted at the gym. So then I started training at his gym, and it had me feel a little bit better.
Awesome. What gym was that?
LA Fitness.
Oh,
LA
okay.
Fitness was the ones who let me train.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I went with the one. One of my buddies. It was Let's Get It Fitness. That's when we started training. So I trained with him for about 2 years.
He just got a spot too, didn't he? He just opened up a spot.
Yeah.
The old
He's,
Powerhouse Dearborn.
Oh, that's where
Yeah.
that's where he is?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard a lot about that guy.
Yeah. He's a good guy, man. Yeah, he's not too far from F3.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So that's that was after I left that gym and went to F3, and I found out he opened up over there, and
That's what's up.
Do you plan on opening your own gym ever or no?
I don't know, man. I mean, like we've been talking. Like I would like to have my own facility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe something that's me, my personality, and things I like. But right now, like honestly, like I like where I'm at now. Like we're in talk because we're partnering up and we're talking like making some big changes coming up soon. Like we're looking to like open the ultimate training facility.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, like we had this one spot, man. It literally looks like the Avengers facility. Literally, I'm telling you, like this place was huge. It's like a garage, like 3 inches, 2 or 3 entrances, like all white, just like the movie. I mean, it was dope. Like 100 car parking. It was sweet.
What city was it in?
Taylor, like literally like 2 miles away.
Oh wow.
Like 2 or 3 miles away from F3. Yeah, so it was dope.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
man.
so like I said, we get together and collective,
What would your ultimate training facility be like? Would it be like more so powerlifting and CrossFit style, or would you have machines for like bodybuilding as well to try to make it all under one roof type of gym?
Everything. Like I've been so. For a while, I was just one dimensional, like just bodybuilding and just regular, some cardio strength style training. And now that I'm doing everything, I definitely could see me having a gym with everything because I love it. Like I'm not afraid to like jump from one thing to the next. Like I was telling Husam, like every day we do something different. It's never the same. So we're like bodybuilding one day, CrossFit, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, just straight cardio. Like it's fun.
But yeah, that's what's up. Having different avenues like that all under one roof is awesome. I love those older school gyms that kind of offer that. They have the lifting platforms, but also have the bodybuilding machines and stuff like that. Because I feed off power lifters, man. I love watching that heavyweight go up. So that would be cool having it all under one roof like that.
Yeah, he's crazy to watch, bro.
I know. I was scrolling through his profile like crazy, getting inspiration from it. You do some wild ass stuff, man. I saw you were doing a every minute on the minute style training on something. How do you like that style of training? Do you do it for a prolonged time, or is it just like every minute you start a circuit?
Yeah, so typically when you do that, you like, let's say you got 3 exercises and let's say burpees, 10 reps of burpees, 10 squats, 10 push-ups. So the goal is to do those reps within that minute. And then like your rest time is the remainder of the minute.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So like what's crazy about it, like it literally feels like nothing the first 2 sets.
Right.
But when you're if you're not conditioned and it's like, okay, you did your 10 burpees and 40 seconds, there's 20 left, and they're like, oh wait, I got to go to these squats, and then it's like it starts catching up and it's taxing. And like that's one of the dopest conditioning exercises I've ever done.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know the true layout of it. I didn't know if it was one exercise or a circuit of exercise. So that sounds crazy.
Yeah, so like literally every minute on the minute. So you just keep going to like most times like 4 or 5 sets. And it's cool because like I like those exercises, especially like if you got short on time. If you're not really thinking about working out a whole hour, or you just want something like I said, just quick, convenient. Those are perfect.
Yeah, sounds like
perfect because you can feel like you worked out 1 or 2 hours within like even if you did it one time. Because like I said, it challenges you and taxes you. It makes you want to get done faster too.
All right.
So.
So you're an athlete, bro. You have such muscle dense, but at the same time, you can do so much stuff. I've seen you do backflips in my backyard. How do you balance of being strong, athletic, and still like being able to move the way you do?
Honestly, man, like I said, I think it's so important. Like let me learn it. Even as I'm getting older, it's like to not just stick with one thing. Like I love being versatile. And everyone tells me I'm athletic, but what's crazy, I never played sports in school. I've never played for a team. Everything was like recreational, literally. Like I said, going to LA Fitness to play basketball, going to, the basketball court when I was growing up, teenager, little kid, just playing ball, doing flips outside. All those things I did as a kid, I still do them now. And I just keep doing it. Like I just think to myself, like one day, like, I'm just gonna do a backflip because I just feel like because I still feel like I'm 12 sometimes.
Right.
Until like the next day I wake up and it's like my back's hurting. Like the day we did those flips, man, my legs were tight. My back was sore, my shoulders, dude. Because like I haven't done that in probably 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now it's like, okay, I don't want to feel this way again. So let me keep practicing them. And I felt tight. So like even like the stretching, like I've been just stretching more and more. So yeah, I mean, I've just keep doing it. Like I don't ever stop doing one thing. Like I feel like I'm always mixing it in there somewhere.
How do you maintain your shape? What do you do?
Diet. I'll tell you the truth. Like I people make fun of me because I don't eat. Like I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't eat junk food. Like I don't really eat sweets. But I stick to my diet. 365. The 24/7, 365. I stick to the same thing. Like I'm always eating clean most of the time. I think the worst thing I might have is a protein bar. That's it. Like
that's the worst thing you can have.
I don't like. I haven't like. If I think maybe if I'm out of town, which has been a while, like I'll grab restaurant food.
Okay.
I'll go out and get but that's been maybe a little over a year. And even then, like the moment I have it, I can tell like my body's not used to it, so I start to get sick. So that's why I don't go back to it. So for me, like once I'm done training, typically, or whenever I get a break, I meal prep.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I do. I try to stay like literally. I says prep. I stay prepared because you never know what can happen.
Right.
You know, you don't know how long you're gonna be out. You don't know what's like. Literally anything can happen right now. So like, I just think to always stay prepared and like I just know like the results of it too. Like I know eating clean this many times, or so such forth will help. Not necessarily just for like definition or whatever. Just like some muscle density. I just know if I feel better. And I like having control of what I put on my food, salt-wise, carb portion-wise, especially, because most time you order these foods or meal prep, you don't get like the sizes you want. Sometimes you can request like rice. Like, I can't like eat 1 cup of rice. I need like 3 cups of rice. Like meat, same thing. Like not a half cup of meat. Like I need a whole cup of meat most of the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
That's so dope, bro. That you follow it, and you're not even a bodybuilder. He doesn't even do that.
Right? That is crazy.
That's so crazy, And it's like one time I told him we finished lifting, and I'm like, "Yo, you want to go grab a burger?" He's like, "From where?" I'm like, "Good Burger." He's like, "I've never had a burger." How many years?
Like a dirty, burger.
Yeah.
Like man, it's been a while.
He has to think about it.
Yeah,
right.
I like Bron. Bron's pretty. I know they're clean and organic, but like that's the worst burger I had. That was like last year, but I haven't had like a straight Whopper or anything like that in probably almost 10 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful, man. For real. That's powerful. Not being a bodybuilder, but having that like dedication to diet, like especially because you're well in tune with your body. You know that if you eat bad, you feel bad. A lot of people don't realize that with diet. So, like, what is your diet more so around? Like, what is it based around? Is it high protein, low carb, or high fat, high protein?
And that's the thing. Like, another thing with that, too, like, I love changing things up. Like, if I do, maybe low carb for, like, a couple of days, I'll switch it up and, like, let me do high carb, high protein, a little fat. But I just keep switching. Like,
so you're just in tune.
Yeah. How I feel. Same thing with, like, as far as eating, like, if I'm going vegan. Like there's days where I won't eat meat. There's I think 2 weeks ago I didn't have meat the whole week. 2 or 3 weeks ago I was just kind of like just plant-based diet, just to kind of switch it up. I think that's so important to like even though I know I'm eating clean and not really good indulging in like the not say the terrible foods but the different foods and fast food and everything. But I just think it's when you're eating clean or, trying to figure out what works for you, I think it's cool to switch it up. Some people like intermittent fast, and I do that like maybe once a week because of the plant-based diet. Or some days I eat all meat paleo. Like I literally would try every diet just to see how my body feels.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I think that's important. I really do. I think that's important to figuring out what you like and figuring out that you do feel better when you eat cleaner or eat a certain way. A lot of people just don't even try.
I know.
Just don't try.
And you never like, and I think that's what sets people back is not, like people have been, that one guy at the gym that's been training for 10 years, but he's not changing because he won't change his diet or he's so, mentally stricken on like, oh, I'm going to eat this, like, a 50-40 or 50-30-20 ratio on, you know, carbs, protein, and fat, and
Right.
not changing up doing low carb, doing high protein and fat, or, you know, like even keto. Like you know, there's something for everybody, and you never know until you try.
Right,
You will
100%.
never know, because what works for me doesn't work for you guys, or, you know, vice versa. And like that's, I mean, like, so you just have to try it, like just one day, or even one meal. You know?
Right, for
You know?
sure. So you were saying earlier, you know, anything can happen. You want to be prepared. So how did quarantine affect you? How did, you know, this lockdown that just happened? Obviously, we're somewhat out of it now. Some gyms are still struggling, but we're mostly in the clear in here, right?
Yeah.
So we're in the clear. So how did quarantine go, and what was your training like during that time?
Man, it was different. Man, if it wasn't for him, I don't, like, the first few weeks, I don't know what I would have did. Like, he was such a dope guy, man. He was like, yeah, man, I got this gym. I saw him, you know, posting. I was like, come train, because I was doing home workouts, and I had stuff from 4 or 5 years ago that I was, you know, just playing around with. I was like, okay, let me go back to resistant bands, some dumbbell curls, you know, no barbell work really. And then I'm like, okay, if it's going to be a while, like after when they said it was 2 weeks, you know, I'm like, okay, I think it's going to be more than 2 weeks. So, like, let me order some stuff, and everything was sold out, of course, nothing.
Right.
So we had a few things here. So he's like, yeah, come train. And, you know, like, just starting there, like, that helped already, you know, because I felt like it was still some normal going on in my life to be able to work out, because I didn't need to do anything else. I didn't need to go out shopping or go to the movies or out to eat, you know, and as long as I was training. But I tell this to everyone, all my clients, whoever, like, to me, what happened these past 4 months is one of the best things that ever happened to me personally. You know, I'm sorry if anybody, you know, then lost their jobs,
Right.
you know, if I know
Just
some,
you personally.
me personally, you know, I know people had their own take on it, but for me, this is hands down one of the best things that happened, because I got to focus more on my training. Like, I wasn't training, you know, my clients weren't really up to training just yet. You know, I had like 1 or 2 clients, but I had so much more time to focus on my training myself, because I'm literally trying to, you know, get my last few sets in before my clients come in. And, you know, that kind of throws me off a little bit, because I do want to give them their attention. You know, that's what the job is. And not only just that, but like once we were done training, like I would go, or even before, like I was able to sleep in a lot better. Like I was only sleeping 5.5 hours a day. And I know it wasn't the best, but like I was just so busy and had so many clients. Like I had to try to, you know, balance that out. And then I'm like the one, maybe when we got shut down, and I think that was the first time since I could remember, man, maybe early fall, that I got like 8-9 hours of sleep. I think maybe even 10. The first day was like 10. And I didn't realize it was like 9 o'clock. I haven't woken up at 9 o'clock in a while, man. Like I went to bed at like 11 or whatever, woke up at 9. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Feel refreshed?
Yeah, I felt refreshed. And then, so like as I'm, you know, like it was, I was sitting around at the house not really doing anything. You know, I wasn't really meal prepping because there was no need to. Like I just make food when I wanted to, but I was trying to keep myself busy, and, you know, of course, catching up on training and like new workouts, new ideas, you know, testing myself. I actually started doing a lot of self-development stuff, and I think that's what got me through it too. Like it was so perfect. Like there's so many inspirational people, motivational people out there who give you like these growth tips, and like sitting at home, like now that you have, that's where your attention is, you know, especially on the phones, and all these things were popping up that I didn't know I had, all these recommendations. I started listening to them, so I'll spend more, like, man, I was listening to maybe a couple, like 2 or 3 podcasts a day, hour long, and just listening to these things of like what do you do when you're mentally stressed, what you need to change, how can you do this, do that, and it was helping me build my character a little bit more. And after doing that, you know, for a little bit, then I'm like, okay, let me try. Like I always hated meditation. I thought it was so dumb. I think it thought it anything for me. I was like, okay, I would literally try to do a 5-minute meditation, couldn't last 1 minute without opening my eyes. And I started off doing a couple apps that I already paid for, because, you know, you get in that feeling, you go start those memberships on subscription services and forget you had them. So I like, wait, what is this? I got this. I'm going through all my apps on my phone, so I'm bored at home. I'm like, okay, let me do this. So I started one of the apps, and I sat there and went through the whole thing, and it was crazy. It was like something different in my mind. and it felt like, again, it felt good not to have to rush, like on my own time. And then went from there, and then I kept doing it like every other day, then every day. And then I'm like, okay, 5 minutes isn't enough. So then I started doing 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Now I'm right now the top is 35 minutes. So I literally just sit there, legs crossed, arms out, and I just literally just listen. Sometimes it's guided, sometimes it's just like regular vibrational beats and music and stuff, and just focus on how I want to take on the day.
I'm seeing a similar pattern of you finding out that you like something and then diving head first into it.
I think that's what, all it takes is just that one time, like I said, literally.
For sure.
And how they say, like, either wherever your energy goes, attention goes, energy flows, right? So it's like, okay, I put my attention into training. That's where all my energy was. Training. It's like, okay, same thing with diet and everything. So like, okay, let me put my attention, towards this self-development. And like mentally, I was like, nothing bothers me as much as it used to. Like I'll get, someone cut you off on the road and you start yelling like such and such, like this mother, whatever, and ready to flip them off, ready to go after them. Like none of those things bother me anymore. Like I just like, hey, he's probably in a rush to work. Like all these things, it's just. And
that's within this time.
Yeah.
Of just quarantine. Wow.
And then like what else is like with quarantine? Like I know, like I said, we were on lockdown, but I started getting into gratitude, because if we look at it, like we were still, for those who were blessed enough to get, the benefits, the pandemic unemployment, stimulus check, like some people didn't get that, so I got, I received it. And some countries are like literally like we're in our homes. That's all we are. We're in our homes. We got internet, we got TV, we got our phones, everything. I mean, like all these companies are like not accepting payments. Like we still got access to all these things. And some people are literally shoulder to shoulder in huts, some homeless, some without food. And I'm thinking like we got it good. These people got it terrible. Like they're literally in quarantine. They have like guns to their homes. They're not allowed out on the streets. Their families are sick. Lucky enough, like we were, I was healthy, and I know you guys are healthy. We literally had, like I said again, like abundance of things. Still able to go to the grocery stores. It was the things that we didn't need that we couldn't go to. Right. But for me, it had, like I said, once I got into the meditation route, it helped me sort of like understand real gratitude, like waking up again. Like so, as I'm meditating in the morning, I'm being thankful for what I have, what I'm able to accomplish. Not just material things, but like being able to actually be strong enough, put my body to the limit. Like I said, it's like some people don't get those opportunities, man. Right. I found some positivity in it. Like I guess, not to be cheesy, but I think like staying positive is one of the biggest things that you could have did in this.
I think you're totally right. Yeah.
Mindset, bro.
Yeah. Cause I mean, like I said, I know it's tough, especially for we had access to a gym, we were able to train. But I mean, there were some people who had home workout, like gyms at home, but couldn't work out at home. Right. Just because like they just weren't mentally there to like, hey, I want to do, a workout, but like you do 5 minutes of curls or something or squats and like I'm done. That's it, because you just didn't have that push.
And you're at home.
Yeah.
You're comfortable. Yeah. I found that too.
But it's like, you just like, it's a mental thing. Like you just like, again, like saying, be thankful. Like you have those things, because some people don't.
Has that not newfound, but the recognition of your gratitude, has that, do you go into the gym now just fucking loving it because you didn't have it, right? Yeah. And now with this newfound gratitude, right, you're like walking into something that you missed, and you're just like, you're gonna lift like it's the last time every time now, right? Is that kind of the mentality you're bringing?
Yeah, and that's literally how we have to be with everything going on, right? Because they still aren't really open.
It's still like, questionable,
So like even here, like at the time, like I was so thankful for him, and I'm just thinking like, man, like nobody, like people were hitting us up trying to train with us, and like where you working out at, and again, like I'm thankful enough that I was able to still be able to train. Like I didn't lose any strength. I gained a little bit of weight, like good weight, good muscle mass. Like, I mean, there's some people I know who either gained like 50 pounds of fat, lost 20 pounds of muscle. Like people just, it was a big change.
It hurt some people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really did. I'm very thankful for him as well. Obviously, this is where I started every morning. Yeah. I'd wake up, come right here, and, it's stick to the basics, get that shit in, and You know, it was an awesome experience for me. It
Honestly,
really.
for us two, bro, what's dope is when we first started here, it was cold as fuck.
Right. Yeah. It
When
was.
we first came, it wasn't as cold as when we started, and it was like,
we're bringing you this episode from the Gym Freak sauna because this is hot
My
as
arm,
fuck
like,
in
sticking
here.
to the left. I'm like,
I got sweat dripping down my back and stuff. Yeah, but no, it's hilarious. It was cold. It really was.
Yeah.
So it's been a journey.
oh yeah.
Wait, what is it? Today's the 1st of the month.
July 1st.
July 1st, man. We're over the hump now.
yeah.
That's
It's
crazy.
been 4 months.
That's
I
crazy.
know. That's what I told him. I'm like, even to see how like it's so dope. Like when you do the before and after, how like this gym was,
Right.
through things,
Yeah.
and now like it's a legit facility. Like this is dope, man.
It's dope.
I
I
said,
appreciate
this is
y'all,
dope,
man. Always.
Hey, we appreciate you.
You guys are like my older brothers, man. Like, he pushes me like, you push me, and he pushes me to a mentality of like, okay, like let's compete against each other, like
Right.
I know you're just athletic as I am, and a lot of people don't look at you that way, but I'm gonna do this and you're gonna do it better.
That's awesome,
every time
man.
he trains with me. I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna see you do it better than I do, and I'm just like, all right, bro, I'll give it a shot. And then I do it, and he's like, I told you.
I know,
Right.
I know. That's what's so dope, man. I'm like, it's at the end of the day, man. It's mental. If you push yourself enough, it can happen.
That's what I saw in him too. We were working out bodybuilding, and this dude's putting up like 500 pounds on some shit. I'm like, why don't you power lift, bro? Well, you were clearly stronger than shit. Like, why don't you power lift? And now, I mean, my goodness, like you're just taking off in that. So
Yeah, I'm not
it's-
competing no more
No.
because of him.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad he's out of bodybuilding. Selfishly enough, So, but yeah, man. Do you have any like competitions coming up? We were kind of talking about something that seemed wild, right? The
Yeah.
rounds of stuff.
So I was supposed to do the USPA in California. I know they pushed it back to August. I don't even know if I'm still interested. It's crazy. Like I know, like I love powerlifting, but now I'm like I said, diving in.
You're
like doing
almost
CrossFit.
evolving again.
I'm
huh?
like,
Yeah.
dude, okay, I like this endurance training. Like the first day was brutal. Like I was like, man, I don't know about this. I'm like him, Kyle, and everybody at the gym are like killing it because they're used to it. Even though it's been like, I think he said it was over like 5-6 years since he did it. But for them, it looks like it was a cakewalk. And, coming from being a powerlifter or a bodybuilder, there's not a lot of cardio like that involved.
Hell no.
So and it was things that like push you. And I have not done any like CrossFit where you're doing 30 kettlebell snatches, immediately going to muscle ups, explosive push-ups, like the craziest things you never even think, like especially because there's like the thing is no rest pretty much. Like you catch your breath 10-15 seconds and you keep going because you want to have a great time. Like that's the goal. Like that's why I was, and it even with something about Hell Week coming up like next month.
Right, that's what you brought up. Yeah.
Yeah. So Hell Week is so dope because it's something he's bringing back, and it was something like, okay, I think it's time to like, now we don't have any meets or any competition, so let's go for it. And it's just 7 days, August 10th through the 17th, and it's like every day is a WOD, every day is a workout of the day, something crazy intense. Something that I think with these workouts, like they're brutal, but these are the ones like when your endorphins get going, or like when you feel like you can't finish and you do, like they make you feel so much better.
Right. Oh yeah.
So much better. Same thing with powerlifting. You pick up you max out, you pull something you never pull, like you're like everything's going. You like you're hyped, you're ready to go. You want more. It's the same thing with that. Like you feel like you're gonna die. Like I get ab cramps so much, man, doing these sit-ups, 50 sit-ups at a time, but like trying to like get to that rep, like that last rep, and when you do it, it like something just goes off. Like I said, those endorphins click off, and it's like, man, like you feel good.
It was worth it.
Yeah, you like it was worth it. It was accomplishment, and then you don't realize it was only like 10 minutes of work, and then you want to do something else. So like you either want to lift or grab a bite to eat, and like I said, man, these workouts are crazy. So I'm excited about them. Like we've been trying to run through them once a week for what we got coming up. There's one of my clients they're gonna hate me because some of them already did it, but we have the back of the gym, and it's whole alley, and we do burpee jumps, burpee broad jumps all the way down and back twice, which equals a quarter mile. And that's like the third workout. There's like farmer's walks, there's like kettlebell rack holds. And again, all these things are supposed to be done back to back with no rest. So then like when you finish the burpee broad jumps, you go right into a sled drag down and back. So that way it's a quarter mile each for each exercise. So it's the Titan mile. So, and it's like one of the hardest workouts I've ever done. I'll say that hands down. Like, I mean, even trying to pick up, 600 something pounds, like nothing has been hard as trying to do burpees.
Right.
And then heat down and back.
Yeah, for a quarter mile.
Yeah, those workouts are definitely like mentally challenging, man.
How long are those workouts?
Man, so that one might be the longest because of how taxing it is. Mm-hmm. But like there's one we're gonna do tomorrow, and it's like a ladder, one of everything, and you just climb up 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, up till you get to 10. Sometimes it'll take us like, but then workouts it'll take us an hour. Like it just literally depends on what we're doing. And I think these workouts are also so dope because, even when you have a training partner, it's cool because you're pushing each other. Whether you're spotting somebody, like you just there yelling, like, come on, let's do it. Give it what you got. But in these workouts, it's cool because like it's a whole bunch of us and it's a team. Like we're family, Okay. So like, whether it's my, the guys at the gym or my clients, like it's cool that I'm doing it with them too, and then we're pushing each other. Cause like I'm dying the same as somebody else is, and we're in it together. So it's like I say, it's one of those team building exercises. So it's like, cause like we don't leave no man behind. Okay. So it's like, regardless of what's going on, if I'm there, right at the finish line, I'm gonna wait for you if we're on the same team, or if you're struggling with it, I'll come back and finish the rest with you.
How the fuck do you get prepared for something like that when you're a power lifter before this, right? Because like, did you even do more cardio or any cardio?
Like every now and then, like nothing.
Okay, yeah,
crazy,
and then you're going. Now we're going cardio based.
Yeah.
So like that. I mean, that's cool. It's cool that you've crossed over and dabbled in everything. I think that's real dope. Do you see yourself now like elevating past that, or do you feel like you're gonna cruise in CrossFit for a little bit?
Honestly, man, like truly, sky's the limit. Because like right now, and that's another thing. Like it helps me, feels good, like mentally knowing, like, because some people can't do certain things. Like it don't work out for everybody. You know, like some powerlifters they refuse to, or just can't. Don't want to do cardio. So like I know a lot of guys probably might not do it because like it's so taxing on the lungs. But like just to be able to do this, and it's like okay, the next day, Olympic lifting, cleans and jerks, and it's starting to feel natural. Like I think that's just so cool because it like I said, helps you mentally, right? And think like it gets you on to the next. Like okay, I can do this. You can do anything. It's one of those like if I did this, I can do anything.
Yeah, that's.
It's like putting limitation on your mind. You don't put no limitation. Exactly. Sky's the limit. Everything's open.
That's what I'm saying. And then like it all applies, especially like I said, in fitness because these things carry over. So it's like. You're picking up, like I said, 500-600 pounds, and or repping it out, and then like you go home and you're picking up cans of paint, like it's not curling with like these things that you couldn't do household stuff, pushing your car, like all the small things that it carries to, it makes you feel good, like it's paying off. There's some benefit versus like just like you're in the gym where your physique's changing, but like I said, your mental state's changing. You like I said, you're doing things you couldn't do. And just like I said, at least you're doing it right, I guess.
Right.
Especially having no injuries. Like that's one thing I love too. Cause like right now, like I'm knock on wood, I'm like super healthy right now.
That's awesome.
So like I feel great. I don't have any super tightness. I mean here and there I'll feel something, but like nothing to where it takes me out for 3 months, 4 months, or anything like that.
So you used to have bad glute, I remember.
Yeah.
Always cramp.
Yeah.
So did quarantine help you recover with the time of rest and not being taxed so much with work and stuff?
Yeah, because like so what I also started doing is now I do like morning mobility. So I just wake up and do a few small stretches, dynamic stretches, static stretches, things that kind of open me up a little bit more versus like I said, me getting up and jumping right out the bed and going to the gym training people. Like I work on myself a little bit. So I started like focusing on those things that needed to be worked on. Like my glute was tight, my back was a little bit like my hips were tight, and now like it's no problem for me to do certain exercise, like it flows. Like, and that's another thing. I also like the next thing I thought about is trying like the whole animal flow style of training. Like
what's that?
So it's like
have you seen McGregor? when he does it?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I've
I know
seen
what
it.
you're
So
talking about.
it's just like literally like your whole body is like moving. It's almost like a ninja or like a cat. It's so
Okay.
cool. Like you flow from one exercise to the next, and it's like with gracefulness too.
Right.
A little bit like a dance too.
Almost like, okay.
Yeah, like a dance.
Yeah.
So like you go like do a front somersault or a backflip somersault into like a lunge or it's
Oh,
just
wow.
so cool. Yeah, it's pretty sweet, man.
That sounds like right up your alley. That sounds right up your
And
alley.
like I said, those things I could never do, man. A year ago, year and a half, like before I like said put the time into it, I never thought I'd be able to do something like that.
That's
Like
awesome.
now, like so I feel great, man.
My thing was yoga. I need to start doing some yoga. I need to start stretching in some way. So, doing some somersault until some lunges sounds
like,
pretty
and,
dope.
and you know what? It applies to that too. Like yoga has like there's like vinyasa flow. That's very similar. Like you transition to the next sort of movement. Like you have a few poses that you hold, and you like so you literally just go here to hold one pose for a few minutes and just keep moving. That's one time I tried it a couple years ago. We did some outdoor yoga. I wanted to get back into that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
I
that
think
does
yoga
feel
is
good.
very beneficial. I think,
Especially for lifters.
yeah, right? Especially when I only do one style. I'm not like as versatile. So I gotta definitely start moving in some different directions and stuff and take my body in different ways than the average movements that I'm taking them through. So
Yeah, it's crazy to see like everybody that comes here and it's so different. Like
So
the
different.
mindset, bro.
yeah,
It's like
I love it.
yeah, it's so cool.
This
Like,
this one's very eye opening for me because you would think you're a bodybuilder. You're very built. You've got great genetics. You got a great physique. So the fact that you're not totally dedicated to bodybuilding, but you still have a physique like this, I think will allow people, because some of us bodybuilders are very like scared to take a day off, right? Like
Yeah.
realistically they are,
Yeah.
So I can find out that I can take a day off. Shit, I can go a whole nother route for a little bit and still look sweet. I think that's important because I think people get bored of doing the same thing and then they fall into, this isn't what it's supposed to be anymore. It's kind of just they're going with the motion again.
Yeah.
And I think, especially with quarantine helping you out, I think it's cool that now we're out of it. We're finding out what could help people now that they're out of it too, right?
Yeah.
Now open it up to new doors, man.
Yeah.
So that's fucking dope.
Thanks.
It really is. It really
Thanks,
is
man.
dope.
I got a question.
Yes.
What would you do if you weren't doing fitness?
Wrestling.
You would wrestle?
I love
Professional wrestling?
I love
Fuck yeah, that's
professional
cool as shit.
And so we were talking about that. It was like, okay, so like with everything going on, they actually, the wrestling schools, there's a couple I wanted to go to, one here and then there's other like in Atlanta. I thought about signing up for it and they opened back up. And I was like, man, this would be the perfect time to just like do it, because like I said, I'm not getting any younger. And even though I feel young, at the same time, I'm like, okay, just because it'll be too late soon enough.
Right.
I've been talking about doing wrestling for, God, maybe 5-6 years.
Oh.
20, saying I always going to do it, always, and then something comes up. Like again, I was making those excuses, and I know that was a mental state because I was scared, and that's another thing that changed. Like I'm not afraid to do anything. Like I think that's one thing that helped me. The self-development thing is just like, why not just try it?
Did you have to recognize that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because,
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're oblivious, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's cool as shit.
And now, like I said, with the rep, dude, I'm just like literally like I was emailing the guy at the school the other day, last week, and I told him, I was like, yeah, are y'all open? And this is like, and then they say, yeah, we're accepting memberships or class course. So I'll probably try to jump on the fall, depending on what's going on if they don't shut it down. But I love professional wrestling. I'm a huge. He knows. He comes over to like I got the belt when it's wrestling time.
Oh, nice.
I got it laid out. I got my shirt.
Who's your favorite?
Right now, I love Finn Balor. Balor. I'm a big NXT guy. And then Keith Lee is super dope. The New Day. I mean, that's so many people. Even with the ladies, like I love like Sasha Banks. I love Asuka. I like that's almost everything. If you go greatest, like who's your all time, like The Rock.
Yeah,
The Rock.
Yeah.
Like not like it's so cool because like he went from professional wrestling, he took over the acting world, and now he's like pretty much taking over the fitness world too.
Right. You want to talk about versatile?
Yeah, that's
that dude's got his hand in everything.
Yeah,
Literally.
Like yeah, and like he was like, I mean him, like Stone Cold, all those guys transition wrestling into like making it like pop culture. Like before, I mean, even Hulk Hogan too. Like Hulk Hogan did it, and put it in the homes. And these guys like had you at school giving people stunners, rock bottoms, like, and doing recess,
DX,
yeah,
suck it,
yeah.
Dude,
Like,
that was a bad one, man. But it was prevalent. You know, people were doing it all the time, and you knew exactly what that shit was.
Exactly, exactly. And that's why I love, like, when you go to wrestling shows, man, it's so cool because, like, they're, like, it's so versatile there. Like, there's, kids, teenagers, grown men, like myself.
It's like all kids, bro.
Women,
you know
like,
what I mean? Though, like, everybody's still a child there because they're looking up. Yeah. And I've been to a couple live events myself. I loved it. Every single time I went was so awesome.
Yeah. Like, I think, like, I enjoy that way more than just, like, honestly, what regular sports. Like, I love basketball and football and soccer, but, like, when wrestling's on, like, my attention's there. Like, I will call off training. I will call if wrestling's in town. Like, we used to go. Me and my buddies used to go to Allen Park, and because the wrestlers would come there when the Joe was still open.
Okay.
Because there wasn't a workout gym. The closest gym was LA Fitness in Allen Park, so they would go up there or Fairlane. Or Livonia, and then me and my buddies, they would call me and text me like, "Hey, such and such is here." I would literally drop what I was doing and go right
straight
to the gym.
there.
Yep, I took pictures with a few of them, man. And then same, like, going to see him at the Joe was so cool. And then, like, seeing them outside, they wave. Like, one remembered me from the gym earlier in the day, which was cool because, like, everyone stands by when they leave out the arena. And they're like driving off. It's cool, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. I used to. I was the manager up at Powerhouse in Dearborn. Now it's Let's Get It Fitness.
Yeah.
And the Rhino worked out there all the time. Rhino, old wrestler from like ECW days.
Yeah.
So he would bring them all there,
Yeah.
and they would go to the Brownstown location, that location. Man, they're the coolest people. They were the coolest people because they were very humble, and they just wanted to get a lift in, So they come in, respect everybody, and the kids saw them. They're like, hey, what's up, man? Take pictures. Like, that was always so cool to see them for real, right? Like, it's almost surreal because you're bigger than a lot of them. So, like, when you saw a lot of them come in, you're probably like, oh, shit, like, that's so-and-so. And it was always cool, like, and very humbling and, humanizing these people. So
yeah, because I didn't know Rhino was from in Dearborn. I think he's actually, like, running for mayor.
Yeah, well, he was running for state representative. And then now he's running for Treasury.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and I saw him like 2 days at Planet Fitness, and like he sees me on, like, cause he saw me the first day, didn't say anything. The second day, he like nodded at me. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
He's the shit. He's the nicest dude, man.
Yeah, and a legend,
Yeah.
Like say ECW, coming to WWE, and like still hands down one. Like the gore was just like when he hit that, people will go crazy.
For sure. So that is that maybe in the future, considering you've reached out? Is that like something you're focused on right now?
I honestly, I would love to, man. Again, it goes into that mental state where I'm like, it would be a sacrifice, obviously, because like the classes are like, it's school, like it's like legitimate school.
Okay, right.
It's like 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. So training will have to be on hold. I could do weekends maybe, but I would love to, man. I think it's something like I said. Again, I want to do what makes me happy, and again, like, sky's the limit. Like, I never know what I could succeed in.
Right.
Like, challenge myself.
Right.
No challenge, no change. So I'm thinking like, okay, let's see. Even if I just do the school and just kind of get my feet wet and experience it just a little bit.
See if you like it.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Hell yeah.
What's do you look up to somebody, like a mentor that makes you like, okay, if I listen to this guy, I'm about to go, do what I want to do?
My mom, of course.
Okay.
Like, my mom pushes me. Like, she's very positive and helps me out all the time.
That's awesome.
G at the gym, like everyone there, like G, like they're so, because they've been doing this for a while, especially training. So talking to them, getting like certain like info, little things like what he experienced doing training or how to do this and that. It's like always like a good take. It doesn't necessarily, even from you. I mean, there's never like people who I'm close with, I want to say, and who aren't afraid to give me like the real truth or the real answers. Those are usually like, you can say my mentors in a sense. Yeah,
it's somebody too that gives you that without being condescending, obviously.
Yeah. Like I said, someone cares.
Yeah, exactly. You
like,
always got to listen to that.
Yeah,
for sure. That was because it's cool that you brought that up, because I was thinking the same thing. Like, I had somebody that showed me how to lift. Right? Did you have different people show you the different ways, or did you kind of do them on your own? Like when jumping from bodybuilding to powerlifting to now CrossFit.
Yeah, like I said, right now at the gym, like the whole crew there at F3, like they've literally been like carrying me through each one, like showing me like besides bodybuilding, I vice versa, I show them things in different ways and that
cool.
what I've learned, but just regular like starting off lifting, I think I've came across a few different people, you know, who showed me like their take on lift, you know, if they're like heavy reps, power, you know, strong, you know, low rep lifting, you know, higher reps. Like I take different takes on everybody,
right.
You know, because like you train with people, you know, you have that workout partner at the gym, you know, switch up at this gym, that day of the week or whatever. So like I kind of like went in between everyone. So like right now, like everyone at F3 is like, okay, you know, we used to do this, you know, a few years ago. This is how you know. Like I said, all these movements, stuff I've never done. Because like I said, all these in the past year, always bodybuilding. So I've literally done 4 whole new routines and 3 or 4 new routines in the past year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like powerlifting was a year and a half ago, I want to say maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like powerlifting, I wasn't into it. So learning from them.
Did you ever compete in powerlifting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
what was your totals?
So my first meet, I know I wasn't qualified because I had to do a local meet to qualify. So I know it was like under 1600. I think the last one I did was maybe 1610. Yeah, like I usually don't keep track. I just wait until if I qualify. But the last meet I had was 640 on the deadlift, 576 on squat, and then 424 on the bench. So
those are big boy numbers.
Yeah.
Those are big boy numbers.
Try,
For somebody his muscle percentage. Like,
oh yeah.
Where you at? Like you walk around 5%?
Fat percent.
Yeah.
Dude, I have not measured myself in 4 years, like body fat wise. Last time I was like 8%. And that's the last time I did. Like I do everyone else's but my own.
Right.
It's just a mental thing, I guess. Like I don't really care to know.
I was about to say, it doesn't seem like you would give a shit.
It literally doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like I mean, last time when we were here and we were measuring biceps.
Yeah.
That's the last time. I think that was it, dude. And that was like, well, dude, that was so because we hit it like right after the pump.
Right.
And then we were like, you have to tape measure and see how big it was, and we were like, we were geeked up, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I stepped on the scale though. Last time, like, let me see. Yeah, like the middle of last month, I was 217. That's the heaviest I've been in a while. I'm usually like 203, 204.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So like, I mean, like even it's crazy because even with the cardio, I gain weight. I mean, I'm moving a lot more. I'm up all day at the all day training people. I don't really sit. Like this is the longest I've sat.
Man, I would be really interested to see what your body fat is at. Because if you're 217, you're lower than 10%.
Yeah.
So 10% would be 21 pounds of fat.
Yeah.
So that means you have less than 21 pounds of fat on your
Yeah.
entire frame. That's incredible, dude.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I mean, he cramps, bro. He cramps when he lifts because
That's
he barely has any fat.
That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah, we were saying so. Like now, when I do like the CrossFit, I have to do electrolytes because I cramp.
Oh,
up
for sure.
Every time, like I have to do a little replenishment drink and before and after because if I don't, I get the worst. Only thing that gets me, like deadlifts would get me when we were doing those high reps before, but now full sit-ups get me at the end. Like I cramp up and it literally almost pops out.
Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah, like it's like
the
an
scariest
alien.
shit in the world.
is.
I thought I had a hernia, and I'm like, oh my god, dude! It was the worst thing in the world.
Yes.
It's scary.
And now I'm like rubbing, like I get them. I'll keep like at least 2 bottles, one at home, one in the gym, and then like I literally just take it, drink it, or I'll rub it on me.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it actually works topical, and then like I'm like 2 or 3 minutes it goes away.
Okay.
But like that's all I have to hydrate and stay on electrolytes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody, you know, from your experience that you've gone through fitness and
Yeah, you have a
bodybuilding
cool
and all
story.
that? Yeah, growing through all of that, and you're also, you know, older than both of us. What advice would you give somebody at a younger age trying to get into all of this?
Personally, like I said, find out what works for you. You know, like don't get frustrated, of course, because again, like this is, and especially in this field, you have to grow literally and mentally, physically and mentally, because you know some people start off fitness and the first thing, I mean, even we're not just training clients, but yourself is that, oh, I don't see results in a week or 2 weeks because we want that instant gratification. You know, we want, you know, just because we see an influencer or someone, you know, you know, pick it up. Like, and I was so hyped when you were doing like, you know, the squat. Yeah, and I'm like, I gotta do that. You know, but you know, you can't always compare yourself to others. Right. You know, he puts in hard ass training. You know, and
I stopped trying to chase him.
Yeah,
sure, you know?
It's like you know, you can have it. You know,
right?
But you know, but it's dope to see that. But then, like I said, when someone always asks me, they think that, oh, am I going to be, you know, what you weigh, like I said, you know, low body fat percentage in a month, or I got a wedding in a month, and I said it doesn't happen like that.
Right.
You know,
should have came to me last year.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. So I just, you know what? That's why I just tell people, don't get frustrated. If you're starting off, you know, just like figure out what works for you, because that's how it is. You can't just jump in and think because you're meal prepping 4 or 5 times a day, you're working out, you know, 3-4 times a week, and you're not seeing anything. It takes time, man. Then once it clicks, that's it. Once you find that rhythm, because, you know, like I said, for me, like, I just love everything. But again, someone else might see more benefits from powerlifting. Their body might react a certain way, you know, based on
it might just be more fun for them.
Yeah, and that's another thing, like genetics too, you know, so that plays a part. And always, like, don't let your ego get in the way as far as thinking just because you saw, or you know, just because you went to school for it. You know, I'm a trainer, but I don't know everything. Hands down, I don't. There's so much information. I'm not a physical therapist, so I'm not going to give physical therapy advice to somebody. I'm not, you know, a doctor. Is, you know, so understanding, like, taking different takes from everyone is so important. You know, so don't be afraid to ask questions. You know, if you see, like, just how people do me, I do the same thing. Seeing people at the gym, you know, asking them how did you get this? What are you on? What are you taking? Supplement wise, especially too. Supplement wise, and what are you eating? And maybe that I didn't know that was or maybe I should try that, you know, and, you know, because some people aren't doing, you know, creatine or protein shakes or pre-workout. You know, I mean, obviously that helps. That's one of the biggest things in the fitness industry.
I love pre-workout.
Yeah, I mean, every day. You know,
that's my shit.
More than a recommended serving, but that's all right. You know, it's okay. So
I'm not recommending that.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
That's not a recommendation
for me.
Right.
But, you know, like, and just to literally just keep at it. Like, don't get discouraged. You know, those setbacks help you build up greater confidence sometimes. Like I said, again, like me, I got bored and found something else, switched it up, changed it up, and it just grew, expanded on to something else in its own. So I just tell people, like, just keep at it. Like, don't, like, literally just thought, if you don't see that scale moving, and that's another thing, don't look at the scale. You know, look at how your clothes are fitting. And that with these phones have so much information, man. Like, you can literally look up meal plans. You can literally look up, you know, workout plans. Like, take advantage of it. And, you know, if you're stuck, especially, like, say, you don't know what workouts to do, you know, and, like, say, you got to figure out what works for you. So, like, there's so much to it, man. But the main thing is just keep going until you get that, when you hit that small little bump and you go over it, and it's like, boom. It's like a sprint. That's it. Just keep at it.
Fuck yeah, man. So you offer personal training services in that?
Yes.
Where can we find that at?
Yeah, so I train at F3 Fitness right now, and I do online training as well.
Through Instagram or
through
Facebook?
Instagram.
What's your Instagram handle?
Instagram is @builtby_B.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool, man. So we can get in contact you through DM or email on there?
DM, whatever you want to do. Facebook, I'm Brandon Sims. I'm not really on there as much. If you message me, I'll probably see it. Like, I'm barely on Instagram. That's another thing. Like, I'm trying, you know, I love social media. I'm trying to get more into it. So that's another thing I'm trying to work on. Like, all these small things these little things that challenge me, I'm trying to get better at. You know, I want to get like him, be able to, like, just post up, you know, put up there. I'll put up things like maybe once a month,
right,
when I'm feeling it. And like I said, we have great workouts. Just, I'm not usually in the rhythm or the groove, so building momentum helps.
Yeah,
I think, you know, like if I get into that and just like, okay, one post turns into like 20 and stuff like that.
Right. Well, I hope this builds some momentum, man, because you have a cool story. You really do, and I think it's important for people to hear that, you know, somebody who pulled out of a bodybuilding competition. Mm-hmm. Now sky's the limit in so many different avenues, right?
Yeah.
You didn't fail. You kept going, right? And I think a lot of people stop when they feel like that. So think this was a cool story, man. I
For
really
sure.
enjoyed you sitting down and telling us.
Hey,
Appreciate it, man. Yeah.
thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
guys.
It was a pleasure.
Thank
It
you
was
so
awesome.
much. This was dope, man. I'm like, this is truly an honor. Like, you told me, yeah, come be on Inspire. I'm like, what? Me?
Hell yeah,
And I'm
dude.
like,
Hell
okay.
yeah.
For sure,
That's
bro.
good,
I mean,
man.
every story is going to teach you something new. So
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, no, I've learned something.
Today's
Couple things
story.
today.
I learned a lot of things
For
today.
real. Yeah.
I'm sweating my ass off.
I know, like,
Yeah,
my shit, like, I got up and my
dude,
shirt
the
was stuck to me.
the gym freak sauna. That's what this is gonna turn
The
into.
sauna podcast.
Oh man, we got so many heat shock proteins going on right now with this sauna shit. Man, I'm about to down this bottle of water right here.
On this note, we're going to sign out. Make sure y'all drink your water, because if you're in a sauna, you're going to sweat a whole lot. And make sure y'all subscribe, live, follow Brandon. Don't follow Clark. I'm joking. Follow him.
No, you don't want to.
But we out. Deuces.
Peace.